All right. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday. I just had an awesome visit with my beautiful friend, Miss Ace, and her mother. They just left and heading back to California. It's always nice to have those early morning visits. Yes, passing through, so I was so happy to see them. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the Daily Bite. Hope everyone's having a beautiful Sunday. We're kind of taking a chill here on our side. So yes, let's do this. Give me just a second here. I'm not sure how to get this off of here. There we go. All right. Perfect. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to your Daily Bite. By the way, really quickly, if you were not here yesterday for my 1 o'clock live, I received this yesterday from TikTok. I am so thrilled with this. Haven't had a chance to dive into it just yet, but I will as soon as we finish here. I will spend my time with God. Like I said, I had a visitor this morning who dropped in on our way back home to California. I was so excited. It was a great visit. So we're just kind of a little out of sorts this morning, but we're going to go ahead and get this podcast started this morning. So our discussion this morning is all regarding how January is not about the weight loss, okay? January is about regulation, and that is what we are going to talk about today. So we are on day 4 of our all-natural detox. So if you haven't been here, we'll talk about that as well. Let me get my notes up here for everyone this morning. Good morning. Come on in and join us this morning. If I can get my notes up here, it'll be a great podcast. Just give me a minute here. All right, go ahead and come on in. How is everyone this morning? I'm curious, please let me know. Have you gotten your hands on one of these? If you have not, it's in my cart. Go grab it. This is on sale. Go grab this. I got mine yesterday. This is absolutely phenomenal, and I love it. Love it. So I have a commitment this year to have a deeper dive with God, have a bigger and better relationship. So this is going to be even more so. Every Thursday, I do a devotional. We have a group devotional online on Zoom. If you want to know more about that, you can join in on that as well and have that conversation with me, and we'll get you all put into play for that, so you can get you registered and get you on that link and all the information coming to you. So let me get this out here for you guys. My computer is not wanting to load up this morning, and I'm not sure what's slowing it down. Let's see. Go ahead and come on in this morning. We will get this podcast started here in just a few moments. Give everybody an opportunity to come in. Have our conversation. Remember, if you are wanting to be a part of the Daily Bite podcast, you have an opportunity to come in and have your question answered. You can actually go to my website and you can choose the priority to your question. If you would like a coaching session as well, you have an opportunity to do that here on the podcast. So just go to the link up in the bio. These glasses are messing with me, so we are going to switch the glasses. I got one a little stronger and one not so strong. So we're going to go to the one not so strong. It could just be me this morning. A little dehydrated from yesterday. All right, so today's daily topic. is about January isn't about weight, it's about regulation. And we're going to dive deep into this conversation today. So again, I've got my all natural detox. Grab a drink, pull up a chair, let's have a conversation. If you've got a question or you would like to come in this morning and have this conversation, make sure you put it in the comments. As long as you're staying on topic or in the general of the conversation of health and wellness, I'll bring you up. And I don't do that very often because people don't always stay on topic. So again, if you want to be a part of the Daily Bite podcast, you want to shape the topics that are being had here, you can go to the link in the bio. You can choose your priority to your topic, and we will get your topic heard and seen and get you out here. All right. So if you're listening to this today and you're paying attention, let's just do a quick moment of some deep breathing, right? Let's just reset the nervous system, which is what we talked about yesterday. Resetting the nervous system, what you can do to improve the nervous system. If you didn't catch yesterday's Daily Bite podcast, go check that out. You can also go on YouTube. If you're not able to see it here on TikTok, you can go on YouTube where it's at. What is my natural detox? This is apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 whole lemon squeezed, and it is also 1 tablespoon of honey, just in a 16-ounce bottle of water. I drink this every morning, typically before I get out of bed, but like I said, I had a visitor join me this morning, which I was so happy. My friend Ace came and joined me this morning. She's stopping through, so it was so nice to visit with her. So we're just a little off our normal here. All right, so today's podcast is about weight and regulation. Here's the thing is that everybody tries to make January about losing weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. The conversation needs to be about how you want to get healthier. That's the conversation. We're not talking about losing weight. That conversation actually needs to not even be a part of the conversation, which is unfortunate for the mindset that is out here. We get in our head, and believe me, I'm going through this with my husband right now. He's like, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. No, the conversation is, I want to get healthier. I want to do things differently. I want to know how I can eat better. I want to know how I can naturally cleanse the system and, remove parasites and detoxify the fatty liver. If you're eating this processed food out here, you've got fatty liver disease. And that is a terrible process to go through. So it is so important that you understand what you can do now. Actually, I just met with my friend's mother, who like I said, they're traveling back across the country from the East Coast to the West Coast. And, cirrhosis of the liver, to prevent cirrhosis of the liver, already on medication. And so when we were talking about natural ways to detox the liver, it was very refreshing for her to know that, medication doesn't have to be the answer. She can actually utilize other things that are natural to stop the process of a possible cirrhosis of the liver. They've got her on a preventative medication. So she was very refreshed to know that she could drink this and detoxify that liver and do this on a daily basis, or she can do milk thistle, and we can detoxify the liver. So there's so many different ways with foods and supplements that we can detoxify the liver and stop fatty liver disease, which is very prevalent right now out here. A lot of people are popping up in their blood works with fatty liver disease. It's happening, and it's because of the processed food that is out here and how we're eating and how we're choosing not to eat. So January, we always go in, we set the weight loss goals, we do a reset plan, or we really just get ourselves in some type of a high pressure situation. And it may not feel that way, but it is. You're really punishing yourself through this process instead of changing that mindset, getting with an accountability coach, and putting yourself into a position where you can truly make healthy changes. That is where you need to be. So it's not about weight loss. There should never be a conversation about weight loss. It should be, what can I do to do it better, healthier, more naturally? And dive into that conversation, because we need to change the mindset. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. January is not about weight, it's about regulation. So, in today's Daily Bite that came out at 9 a.m., as you guys know, here at Show Me Nourish, here on the Daily Bite podcast, I bring you out a Daily Bite every single day at 9 a.m. It rolls out, and it's a little educational piece every single day that you can utilize. There is something in there every day that you can utilize to change your health. And I encourage you to take one step at a time, make one change, do it for 30 days, be consistent with it, and then add another process to your health, okay? We talk about this. We talked about it the other day. You can go back and catch those episodes and get a better understanding as to the mindset that needs to be in January moving forward. All right, so weight is not the starting point of health. It's a result. We're looking for how we can get the result. What is it that's going to get us to the result? Here's the thing, guys. Really quickly, let me go ahead since we've got everybody coming in here. My name is Michelle Rawls. I'm a licensed nutritionist, a licensed nurse. I'm a certified diabetic education specialist, and I'm a certified menopause coach. And by the end of January, I will have my plant-based coaching certificate as well. So I'm really excited about that. I've learned so much over the past 35 years of being in this industry. And for those of you who do not know, back on January 14th, 2014, I collapsed on the nursing floor from chronic lymphocytic leukemia. I'd been suffering for 14 years with it. I was on 19 different medications to include fentanyl and oxycodone for pain. And on the day that I collapsed, I was taken to the hospital, of course, so that they could hopefully get me back on to a better way. More medicine, trying to make the changes, but in a nutshell, they came back. I had 3 out of my 5 doctors come in and tell me that they did not know of any other treatments that they could do, that they had basically come to the end of the stage with me. They were going to transfer me to palliative care, and as I continued to decline, they would place me on hospice care. Well, everybody knows where you go from hospice. That didn't set well with me. I literally ripped my IV out of my arm and I said, give me the AMA paperwork. I am leaving. I will no longer be returning to Western medicine. My husband had so nicely taken my medications, brought them to the hospital in a Walmart bag. He had them all nice and tied up. I took the bag and threw it at the doctors and said, God will either heal me or he'll take me. Well, here I am, 90 pounds later off. I've lost 90 pounds, kept it off for the past 11 years. I will celebrate 11 years January the 14th of this year that I have been cancer free. I walked out of a wheelchair in 6 months after leaving the Western medicine side of the world. And today I teach you how to use food to heal, treat, and prevent chronic illness and disease. So if that's you and you're ready to dive into that conversation, you're ready to start moving off of Western medicine, start understanding and learning how to heal from soil to table food, this is where you want to be. All right. So I have a group coaching program that if you're interested, you can be a part of that. Just go up to the link in the bio. It's called The Daily Plate. We'd love to have you. Group coaching is every Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And then also I do have one-on-one programs if you're interested in that. Today's topic is all about how January is spoken in the word weight loss, but we actually need to be speaking about regulation. Yesterday, we spoke about our nervous system, talking about the CDC right now with our health and what's going on with the flu, with the viruses, all the above. I come in here I give you statistical data and I open up the conversation for us to have. So here's the situation. Right now, we are in very much so a virus-prone time frame. It's the season, right? The numbers are rising on flu. The numbers are rising on RSV. We've got more and more kids being, admitted into the hospital. But there were warning signs. We've been talking about this for the past 3 days. There were warning signs. If everybody is paying attention to the warning signs, then you know ahead of time that you've got something brewing, okay? Yesterday, we talked about how the signs and symptoms, fatigue, maybe, you don't normally crash and go to bed until 10 o'clock at night, but you notice at 7 o'clock, you're very, very tired. You fell asleep and you didn't get up until the next morning and you're still not feeling well. That's a warning sign. The body gets super stressed out, even over the smallest things. Our minds tend to go because we're also plugged in all the time. Excuse me. Swallowed too hard there. Went down the wrong hatch. Anyway, with that being said, we're so plugged into all these electronics, the TV, the phones, the computers, the iPads, excuse me, all the above. And being so plugged in, we don't realize just how much our nervous system is under so much pressure. Moving into January then, and not really knowing how to get our health under control, we've gotten into this mindset, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to lose weight. By January 21st to the January 22nd, 90% of you will have already checked out, said, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm tired of doing it, I don't know what I'm doing, I've had enough. You make all the excuses as to why we can't keep going. Being so plugged in as we are with the devices of today, that is part of our failure to continue to be good and vigilant with our health. So yesterday, we talked about how the body gives us warning signs. The fatigue. Like I said, you went to bed at 7 o'clock. That's not normal for you. You didn't get up until 7 o'clock the next morning. Your sleep is off. You're getting up in the middle of the night. You are waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., not getting a good full night's sleep. That's another warning sign. So if that's currently happening, your body is already breaking down and is not, sorry guys, and is not fully resting. So therefore, if the body's not fully resting, the body cannot detox like it needs to detox. Hence the reason why we also talked about how water needs to be beside the bed at all times. Now I'll talk about that in just a minute. So if you're having issues with your digestion system, in other words, you've got some IBS going on, some diarrhea. Sorry guys, I need to put my DNS on. If you have been having constipation or some type of heartburn or acid reflux, again, that is another sign and symptom that something's going on and you probably need to be changing the health process in what you're doing, eating, things like that. Inflammation's getting high. Inflammation, again, is the pain in the joints. The digestive issues is inflammation. Our disease processes are inflammation, all the above. So again, I speak on this very much so in great length and detail. Medication was not meant to be used permanently. Medication was meant for you to temporarily heal yourself, but to understand how to use food and other things medicinally with herbs and spices, etc., to heal the body. That is what God put it on this planet for. That is where we need to be when we are in the process of our healing and our everyday eating. All right, so for those of you who are new and just newly joining in, here at Show Me Nourish, I provide you a little bit of a daily educational piece so that you can take that and do something different in your health each and every day. So we pick a different topic every day to talk about. Over the past few days, we've been talking about the flu viruses, the rise of numbers, what the warning signs were, how you could have already been knowing about things that were going on in your body. I teach you here at Show Me Nourish how to understand your body, because what food works for you doesn't work for me, and what works for me doesn't always work for you. So with that being said, I personalize everything I do with each individual that I meet and take on as a client. And I don't take everybody on. If you're here just to lose weight, that is not what I do. That mindset is not where you're at. That mindset is not even where you need to be. You're wanting to change the way you do things. You're wanting to change the way you eat. You know that you're not eating the right way. So what I teach is how to use food, soil to table food, and heal the body, treat the body, prevent the body from having these disease processes. So for those of you who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you're wanting to be a part of this conversation, you can come in, put your questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And if you're wanting to be a priority to your question, you can go up to my link in the bio and you can choose one of the priority processes and come in and be a part of the conversation. You can also have a coaching session here at the Daily Bite as well. So if that's something you're interested in, just tap that link and go schedule your day and time for that to happen. All right. So right now, as we're talking about the nervous system as we continue this conversation from yesterday. Signs and symptoms that the nervous system is in distress, is shutting down, is giving you all the warning signs that the body is breaking down and it needs to be rejuvenated in the right way. We talked about fatigue. We talked about digestion issues. Sorry, guys. Let me get a drink here. I'm getting a little dry. All right. Yeah. So if you're wondering, why does this look a little odd? This is apple cider vinegar, honey, and today there is a whole lime in here. So I squeezed a whole lime in here with all of that. So this is my natural detox that I take every day, every single day. So if you'd like to know more, you can reach out. We can have that conversation. This is a great natural detox to detoxify the liver. You should always drink it when you first get up in the morning. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that this morning. I had some people stop in that are traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast, and I really wanted to visit with them, and I miss them dearly. All right, so we're a little off this morning, but we're putting it back together here. And again, really quickly, I want to jump in here. If you have not, you can go to my card. You can check this out. If you have not picked one of these up, everything I do here at Show Me Nourish is faith-based. I actually run a 90-day devotional. If you'd like to be a part of that as well. If you haven't picked up one of these, go pick up one of these. It's absolutely awesome. All right, let's continue our conversation regarding the nervous system and why January should not be about weight loss. It should be about regulation. All right. Excuse me for a second. Water is getting me. Okay, here we go. All right, let's talk about the diet culture, because the diet culture teaches restriction. So if you walked into January 2026 and said, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, I'm going to lose 30 pounds, that is absolutely the wrong mindset to have into place, okay? That is not how we should be looking at this process. We should be coming into January saying, I need to make some changes. I need to get healthier. I need to look at food in a different way. If you're an emotional eater, I completely understand, and stay right here because we're going to have more conversations about emotional eating, why we emotionally eat, how we emotionally eat. Because here's the thing. When you learn, which is what I teach, when you learn how food works, why it works the way it does for you, you're eating foods right now. Excuse me, guys. You're eating foods right now that do not work for you. You're putting them in your body. They don't make you feel good, but you're so used to the way you're doing things that you don't even recognize that it is making you feel that way. And that is a problem. That is where we start to have the disease processes popping in. That is where we start being fatigued. Our digestive issues become huge. It is where constipation, irritable bowel, all of this comes about. The body is telling you it does not like this certain foods that you're eating. So when we learn how to eat the right foods, what foods actually work, what foods energize us, what foods drain us, when we learn that and we understand that and how our body is responding, that is when we start making great healthy changes in where we're going in the direction that we're heading. So it is important to understand, which is what we work on in the very first 30 days of you being, whether you do my group coaching, whether you do my one-on-one coaching, it doesn't matter. Everyone's different. So this is not a standard program that I run. I run a program based on you, what you will do, what you won't do, what you have done, what you're willing to try, what you're currently eating, how we can change that, all the above. So everything is tailored to the individual. But January is always about the diet. Let's change the diet. Let's get on a diet. I want to be vegan. I want to be paleo. I want to be keto friendly, blah, 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 blah. They don't work. Here's the thing. If Weight Watchers worked, would everybody be healthy right now? Wouldn't everybody be, in the same way of health? If Weight Watchers worked, if Jenny Craig worked, we'd all be very healthy. We would all be doing it. But then again, Jenny Craig wouldn't be in business anymore. Weight Watchers wouldn't be in business anymore. Your Beachbody wouldn't be in business anymore. If it worked, it's not meant to work. You're meant to work you. You're meant to do what works for you. Everybody's different. So that is why what I do is very unique. Not everybody understands food the way I do. My clients tell me that on a regular basis. You can go read my Google reviews. It's in every one of my Google reviews that what she does is very unique and very different. You can go on my website and you can hear what people are saying in their testimonies. What I do is very different. It's because I understand food. I understand how food works from the moment it touches your tongue to the moment it leaves your body. How it's actually processed through your body, what it's attaching to, and what it doesn't attach to. That is very important to know. You need a coach that knows that, because that is how you will be successful in understanding what foods work for you, what foods don't work for you, what is getting you more energy, and what is actually bringing you down and fatiguing you. All right. So again, here's the thing about the diet culture. It's all about the restriction, right? So let me give you a perfect example. I did Weight Watchers. My mom sent me to Weight Watchers. I was 12 years old, 200 pounds. I was 5'5", very tall, very big girl. I've always been a very tall, big girl. But here's the thing. The doctor told my mom that if I didn't get on something and work something, some type of a program, that I would probably have a stroke at the age of 13. So my mom sent me to Weight Watchers, the most horriblest experience I could have ever had. Here's all these older women sitting around, their weight is being yelled out in front of everybody. How embarrassing. My weight was yelled out in front of everybody. You gained 2 pounds this week. You need to tell everybody, what you didn't do right. That's not how you are to approach a healthy system. Okay. With that being said, Weight Watchers was very restrictive. It is still to this day. Any diet is very restrictive. Here at Show Me Nourish, what I teach is nothing about restriction. We don't count calories. We don't count macros. We do not do anything of the sort. We learn how to eat food and how to eat it to match our bodies, what we need to be eating and what we do not need to be eating. We are learning what foods do, how they work, why they work. And that is vitally important, because if you understand how food processes, how it functions, what it does, then you see the value of how it works for you. We're not restrictive here. We don't do punishments. There's none of the above here at Show Me Nourish. This is all about you taking what you currently do, understanding what you currently do, and how to do things a little differently, one step at a time. Okay? It's very important to do things one step at a time. When you are walking into January like everybody does and says, I'm going to quit eating A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Well, now the brain has went, okay, but I really want those things. And now you have no one to coach you, no one to hold you accountable, and no one to explain to you why that's happening and how you just told your brain, we're not doing that. We're not having that. We're not going to put that in our body this year. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. You've already started the restriction process by just saying that. And that is where the process begins to fail. That is where you begin to fail. The success is not going to be there when you have stepped in that direction. So let's talk about how we can calm the nervous system so that you can have a healthier approach to what you're doing in January. So once again, I want to mention out here that if you're looking to change your health, you're ready to make a change, do it from soil to table as I teach here. You might want to get in on my Daily Plate. That is a weekly coaching program that I do every Friday at 11 a.m. It has much more than just that to it, but you can go up to the link in the bio. You can check that out. So if you're interested in making those changes, go ahead. Come on in. Let's have that conversation. All right. So let's talk about how regulation and what that means and how we can settle down the nervous system. Okay. Let me get this a little closer here. Let me get a drink. I am like really dry. My voice is like trying to go away. Here in Missouri, the weather's really wonky. 1 minute it's 70 degrees, the next minute it's 30 degrees. Knowing how your body responds to weather is very important too, and I speak upon that. All right, so regulation, that's what we really need to be talking about in the month of January, not weight loss. Regulation is calming the nervous system. I'm going to talk about that in a little more detail. Stabilizing your digestion, right? Supporting your sleep, that is huge. If you're not getting good amounts of sleep, that is a concern. All right. If you're not sleeping through the night, that is also a concern. That means you've got something going on. That is an early warning sign that there is something actually not right, and you need to be paying attention to that. Reducing inflammation and creating safety inside the body. If the body is constantly plugged into these devices all the time, you're in constant stressed out mode. You're in constant stress overload. That is a huge concern in today's world. People do not understand how these devices are actually causing more problems than they are any type of good. Great, we can contact each other. Great, we can have an opinion out on social media. Great, we can, have these memories and they load up every year. Awesome. But where are you disconnecting and calming the mind and calming the body? That is what we teach here even more so. So when you are ready to sit down for the night, this is especially at nighttime, you need to be unplugging for the last 2 hours prior to bed. And I spoke about this yesterday, so if you want to get more details about that, you can go to yesterday's podcast. In a nutshell, I gave you a 30-minute wind down. I also went over the 2-hour rule. That 2-hour rule is unplugging, no TV, no phone, no computer, just being with you, being with your family, being however it is for you in quiet, whether that's reading a book, whether that's meditating, whatever the case may be that works for you, you need to unplug. The nervous system is constant go, 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 go. The nerve endings are constantly on a run, and we're not settling them down. We're not calming them in any way. When we do not do this, then this is where diabetes comes in. This is where heart disease comes in. This is where pain, inflammation comes in. The body is not having that time to actually be calm, be still. And that is important. So I went over the 30-minute calm down that you can do. That was in our podcast yesterday. Go check that out. If you can't watch it here on TikTok, you can go watch it on YouTube. It's Show Me Nourish. The body needs to feel safe, all right? And when the body doesn't feel safe, it reacts. And this is what's going on in today's world with our health. So when the body feels threatened, it becomes protective, rightfully so. It's got to come into some type of mode, fight or flight, and that's where we're constantly at. All right, I'm going to take some moments here to answer some questions. If you've got questions, put them in the comments. Let's get those answered for you today. I don't want anyone leaving here having questions and not getting them answered. Of course, if you would like to privately have your questions answered, you can do that as well. Again, you can go up to the link in the bio. You can choose the priority to your question and take a live coaching session here at the Daily Bite. I do offer that. So if you would like to have a coaching session while we're here at the Daily Bite, pick your day, pick your time, come on in, just tap that link in the bio and schedule your day and time. If you have a certain question and you'd like to prioritize that question to the Daily Bite podcast and you'd like to be heard, be seen, go up into the link in the bio, schedule your day and time. We'll make that happen. All right, give me just a minute here to grab a drink. All right, so really quickly before we wrap up, are there any questions for anyone that you would like to have answered today? Again, you can go up into the link in the bio. You can schedule the priority to your question. You can choose to have it answered as a shout out, or you can choose to have it answered live while you're here with me, and we can have that conversation. You can also choose to have a coaching session live here with me. Choose your day, choose your time. All right, any other questions for today? Remember, guys, this is in my cart. If you have not went and grabbed one of these, this is like the best thing I have grabbed yet. Absolutely love this. I already have the year reading of the Bible. Now I've got an actual study for the Bible. So that's awesome. So again, everything I do here at Show Me Nourish is faith-based. I'm very much into my relationship with God. All right, guys, just a quick reminder, a very quick reminder. Your Daily Bite will be out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. However, I will not be out here live tomorrow, okay? I will be back on Tuesday. Again, let me just give you a little information into that respect. My father is a diabetic, again, not wanting to listen, not wanting to hear, not wanting to take medication the right way. Unfortunately, over the holiday. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that gift. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me stop. I want to do a shout out really quick, if I can. Ready to Know. Ready to Know. Thank you so much for the rose. I really, really appreciate that. If you guys haven't went and followed Ready to Know, please go do so. Please go follow Ready to Know. All right. Here's really quickly. I will not be out here tomorrow at 10 a.m. I need to take my father to the doctor. Again, he's a diabetic. Over the holiday, he spiked his blood sugar, and unfortunately, the blood sugar got too high and it detached his retina. So we will be seeing a retinal doctor tomorrow. And these are the things, that I teach. I did try to help him over the holidays. Unfortunately, he thought 2 pieces of cheesecake was better than 1. These are the things that happen when we don't, when we don't stop and we don't pay attention to what we're doing. We must, we must. It is imperative, because all we do is further the disease process if we don't pay attention to what we're doing. So thank you so much, Ready to Know. I really appreciate that gift. More than you know. So hopefully, we will see you back here on Tuesday, everybody. I'm looking forward to it. I know I'll miss you guys tomorrow. Please be blessed. Please be well. And we'll see you back live on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. And I will schedule this so you guys know and can be a part of it. All right, guys. Have a beautiful and wonderful day. Be blessed. Be well. That was your Daily Bite for today. Healing one bite at a time.